The small shop owner has bought in the Santa or in any Raitu Bazaar.
एक ही जगह पे मिलके those type of plastics are known as thermosetting plastics. Comparison, there are 3 types:
up, down, right, left.
I am not inferior to anyone.
We are Clarus. We are top on the Everest. Congratulations.
I want to be a leader.
Good afternoon to all. This is TSWREI studying 10th standard, Ramredigudam, Mahabubnagar district. Friends, before going to know our topic, I want to say one thing that, friends, have you visited zoo? Okay. So what you observe on the zoo? Right. So we observe different types of animals and birds, flora and fauna. So friends, if you observe here, you can say we can see different types of animals. So how these animals are formed? How these animals evoluted? So friends, in coming into our topic, that we raise many doubts. The life had a beginning. How the life began? What are the mechanism was involved on that? We raise this different type of comfort questions, right? So friends, by knowing these questions solution, let me study about the evidence of new species evolution. So friends, today's topic is ours, the evidence of new species evolution. The evidence of new species evolution. Friends, these different types of animals, these different types of birds are called also species. Friends, before knowing to evolution of species, let me know how the earth was formed. Okay. So friends, if you observe this slide, how the life starts, that means how the earth origin. Approximately earth takes 4,600 millions. 4,600 millions years ago, the earth is too hot, that means which cannot bear. Its temperature is estimately 4,000 to 6,000 degrees. Friends, there is no chance even to live a little bit, a single organism also. For that, for taking a lot of time, that means a lot, many millions years, the earth became colded. After that, some elements are, that means some gases are came out. That gases are also called as light elements. What's that? Light. Light elements such as hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, so on. So these gases are called as light elements. Friends, after flowing of these gases, when the earth became cold, these gases are flowed through the surface. After they flowed, they form atmosphere. Okay. After forming atmosphere, there is a happen one reaction in between these gases. That's the reason for the formation of rain. So when these gases, that means happening some reaction in between these gases, the earth, that means these gases are changes into water droplets. Okay. After that, the rain will be continued to flow the surface. After flowing from stream to river to, it's connected into a ocean, right? After in connecting into a ocean, there form salt percentage also. That is called prebiotic soup. So prebiotic soup is nothing but when the ocean contained with water and including salt also. Okay, that is called prebiotic soup. Friends, next we have learnt now formation of earth and formation of water also, right? Okay, clear? Next, coming into our topic is that the formation of living organism. If there is formed here, we know that formation of water and earth. So here is the H2O percentage. That means, observe friends here, H2O, that means water and hydrogen. Hydrogen means water. So here is O means oxygen. So here is the percentage of oxygen also. So there is a chance to live a living organisms. If you observe this slide friends, origin of life, the first living organism were bacteria, which developed into other form of life. In this process is called evolution. So friends, here we are seeing that the first evolution organism is bacteria. Okay. So the bacteria changes from its stages to its become huge body, from a small body to its become a huge body. Okay. That means the bacteria changes its stages from one stage to another stage. That is called evolution. Okay friends. Dear friends, let me see how the bacteria was formed. Okay. How the bacteria was formed. So after formation of water, the bacteria was formed like this. There is a chemoautotrophic, it is a bacteria only. That means chemoautotrophic means the bacteria which are present in this as like this, iron and sulfur bacteria. These bacteria are called chemoautotrophic bacteria, right? Friends, here chemoautotrophic bacteria means which are iron and sulfuric acid. So these bacteria are used their energy by capturing CO2 only. Okay friends, by capturing CO2 they used their chemical energy, right? After that, after using the chemical energy, they created a new substance, that is, one is carbohydrate and another one is sugar. Okay. Next, after this, after the chemoautobacteria, after the chemotrophic bacteria, there is another form of bacteria are synthesized. That means bacteria chlorophyll. Bacteria chlorophyll. That means these bacteria are presented after iron and sulfuric bacteria. Okay. These bacteria are also used their energy, chemical energy only, but not from CO2. Okay. They used their energy from solar energy, that means natural energy from which we get from sun, right? So after they used this CO2 energy, after they used solar energy, they converted a bacteria. That means there is no percentage of oxygen, right? Okay. They only utilized only solar energy. Friends, listen. They only utilized solar energy, not carbon dioxide. That means there is no presentation of oxygen. Okay. So here no presentation of oxygen. These bacteria, that means chlorophyll bacteria was developed. After that, these bacteria are evolved. After evolution of these bacteria, they form a presentation, a little bit of oxygen. From this oxygen only, they form a first bacteria, that is cyanobacteria. Clear friends? So we have learnt one point that. So the first bacteria is cyanobacteria. Okay. So after formation of cyanobacteria with oxygen, there are changed. That means these bacteria are increased. If the bacteria are increased, the oxygen percentage also increased. If you observe this slide friends, let us see this slide. Friends, we learned that the formation of bacteria. Okay, let we know what are the stages involved with them? Okay. So, first is Masonite. Masonite is nothing but the first stage which the organism was formed. Okay. The first stage which the organism was formed. Friends, you just observe this slide. Here is the different types of bacteria. Okay, which are some of in leafy structure, some of in circular. Such type of bacteria are formed. If we see next stage, shells, means these bacteria are used cells to protect their body. Friends, let us come into our topic is that, so for protecting ourselves, we are using clothes, right? Like that only, for protecting their bodies, they use shells, right? Next, observe next slide, friend. Crinoidal. Crinoidal, they are also bacteria which founded the puzzle, okay? Which founded the puzzles. If you observe next slide, friend, Cambrian. This is a short stage, which means there are so many stages are there for evolution. Okay, friends. So, this is one of Cambrian is a one of the stage. That means you observe, friend, here around 530 millions of years ago, the first animal with solid body. That means 530 millions years ago, the first bacteria, that means the first organism formed solid body structure. Okay. So, friends, if you observe this slide, here is the bacteria which present a solid body. Okay. So, now we can understand that our body also, tell me what is our body? Our body is a liquid. Can our body is a gas, in the form of gas? Can our body is a solid? Yes, absolutely you are right, friend, that our body in a solid structure. If there is no structure, if there is no solid content, there is no structure. Okay. So, we are understanding here that our body is formed in solid structure before 530 millions years ago. Okay, friends. Next, observe this slide, friend. Yeah, who is he? Yes, he is a man from early man stage, right? So, friends, much smaller than human being. He is a man who is a much smaller than human being. That means after this stage only the man evoluted a modern man, right? Friends, we say hi to them. Okay, who are there? They are our relation. That means they are the modern human beings. Presently we are seeing this type only, such type of human beings only. Just you compare to them, your face and their face. So, you have different faces, that means different in color or different in size, but you have similar structure, right? So, that is the matter here. These are the our relation. Next, friends, we will learn that the stages of evolution. Let me learn that what are the mechanism involved on that. Okay. Friends, if you have any idea about evolution, okay, I will explain you that. Dear friends, if you observe this slide, DNA is nothing but deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay. Why we call this a ribonucleic acid? That means DNA present with nitrogen. Okay. Next, and also it contains oxygen percentage. That means DNA was first isolated by Fenrich in 1869. Its molecular structure was identified by James Watson and Frank in 1953. DNA has double helix structure having 2 nucleoids. So, friends, if you observe this figure, friends, you just observe this. What you say for this? So, yes, this is the structure of DNA. Okay, friends. So, look, friends, here we said that DNA has double helix structure. So, you observe this. Here we seeing that 2 lines which have double helix structure. Double helix structure is nothing but having foldings. Okay. So, in this DNA there is a double helix structure having 2 nucleotides. That means if you observe here top of these DNA, we can find 2 nucleotides. Okay. Nucleotides are nothing but which present with nitrogen base. Okay. Next, in this alternate system, that means in this alternate arrangement, there is the presentation of nitrogen. So, and also it has bondings also, friends, just to observe this, it has bondings. Okay. Next, so what is the role of DNA? Why I am explaining you about DNA? That means DNA is a role which gives a genetic matter, that means a different changes or similar changes to next generation. Okay friends, if you see this slide, you can understand. So friends, here you observe this words, role of DNA. It has genetic matter, this will lead to next generation. Okay, that means DNA has a genetic matter, means similar matter, which deals to next generation. Okay, suppose friends, if you observe your mother, you and your mother, in between you both, you have similar characters, you have similar structure, can you have similar face? Yes, some of the people, that means yes, every child has similar structure comparing with their mother, because the child which came under from his mother's womb, so that's his mother's womb present with DNA only. Like this, the baby has similar structure and similar structure and similar characters also sometimes. So this is the main reason for DNA only. For DNA, we can evaluate it like this. Okay friends, next you see another slide. What you are seeing friends here? Yes, there is the cell, right? So, where the cell presents? Can cell present in our body? Can cell present in our nail? Can cell present in our hair? Where it's present? Friends, yes, our body is made up of cell only. Okay. So, look, this is the process of cell body. This is the process of how the body is made up of cells. Friends, if you observe this, what is this? Cell, which is the main functioning part. After that, it consists with nucleus. After that, it has, in nucleus, there is the presentation of chromosomes. After that, there is the presentation of DNA. So, this is the presentation of DNA. Okay, if you see the human structure like this, cell. Okay. After cell, tissue. After that, organ. After that, organ system. Okay friends, are you clear? So, here we are seeing difference between formation of DNA and structure of organ system. So, first here is a cell. When cells compare a group, they form the tissue. Okay. When tissue became together, then form the organ. Okay, we have some organs, right? Some not. The body, whole the body present with organ only, right? So, here is the organ. So, from when the organ became together, then they form organ system. Okay. So, coming into here DNA. So, first cell. If you observe this slide friends, this is the cell, right? In this cell, there is the presentation of nucleus. Okay. Nucleus is the major, it does a major function in our body. After that, in this nucleus, there is a presentation of chromosomes, right friends? If there is any errors in chromosomes, automatically the generation will changes. That means the difference comes in your child, that means in our body. So, if the change occurs in chromosomes, if the change occurs in chromosomes, automatically it changes the structure of DNA also. So, then the DNA does that, the DNA also changes the structure of baby. Okay. This is the DNA, friends. Next you observe this slide. What is this? Yes, I have already shown you that. This is the DNA. Look how DNA was working there. Look friends, DNA has two nucleoids. It has double helix structure. Are you finding, friends? Are you okay? Okay. Here you are finding the double helix structure. Got my point? Okay. Friends, if you observe in this DNA, you can find these bondings, right? See friends, how these bondings are there, how these bondings are arranged. These bondings are arranged to meet two nucleotides. So, here is the structure of bonding, friends. Look how we have in physics, there is the bonding, chemical bonding. Like that only, here is the bonding structure of DNA. Next. So, friends, evolution. Okay. What is the evolution? Evolution is nothing but, which I said now, right now I said you that when the DNA gets errors, then it changes to character of the next coming baby. It leads to next generation. Okay friends, if you see this slide, you can understand. So, variation occurs while sexual reproduction. That means there is the variations occurs while the sexual reproduction happens. Okay. Next, in sexual reproduction, some errors will be formed when DNA copying leads to variations in offsprings in a population. The characters will be exist in next generation. Okay friends, acquired characters are not change the DNA. Okay, what is acquired character? Yes, you are right that. So, acquired character is nothing but the change which comes from nature only. That means it is not come from womb. If it come from womb, the changes if comes from mother's womb, then it's the there is the involvement of DNA. Okay. If there is no changes come from birth, there is a no involvement of DNA. That means if the change occurs like this, suppose friends, if you are very thin, okay, just you observe your friend from many times. So, from starting, that means before you both are friends, your friend has very thin, your friend was very thin. After comparing your friend from that class to this class, you find some difference between your friends like this. Suppose on that time he is thin, coming into this class, that means coming into present, he is very fat, he became very fat. That means there happen some changes. So, there is the no involvement of DNA. Okay friends, are you clear? Dear friends, if you observe this slide, friends, what you are observing here? Yes, you are observing here beetles which are green color and in red color. Friends, if you observe first stage, there is a high population of red beetles. Okay. If you observe second stage, the population of red beetles are decreased. If you observe third stage, what you are finding there? Yes, totally. That means only 4 beetles, red beetles are there. Coming into next stage, tell me what you observed there. Yes, you observe that there is no population of red beetles. Why it happened like this? That means the beetles are changed for their convenience. That means which is related to their surroundings. Okay. So, comparing first and second and third stage, there is totally disappeared the red beetles. We are seeing the total population of green beetles only. This is called acquired characters. That means which changed for their convenience, for their natural, for their surrounding purpose, they changed like this. Okay friends, have you understand? Okay. Next, coming into next topic is that Friends, Lamarckism. Another scientist came who is a popular. He is a Lamarck. He done some experiments. He done some hypotheses under evolution only. So he observed that for that purpose only his name is Lamarck. So he's done that experiment. For that he called it as Lamarckism. Okay. So Lamarckism. What is Lamarckism? Let me see what is Lamarckism. Okay. Friends, you observe this slide. The organ which are in use get strengthened, which are in non-usage will be removed. That means the organs which are useful, they utilized that. If there is no usage of that from that, then leave it, then remove that. So like this, if you observe this giraffe, you can understand it easily. Okay friends, just to see how the Lamarckism was how the Lamarckism was helped to this nature, how he showed that. Let me see. Friends, just to observe this slide. Friends, here what you are finding? Yes, here is the different stages, right? In first stage, there is the deer, okay. The deer was, what the deer was doing? It's grasping the food, right? Coming into next stage, it's trying to catch high branch, okay. Coming into next stage, that means it's elongated its neck. Coming into third stage, it's totally started to absorb the high branch, okay, for food purpose. Next, coming into last stage, we are finding that the deer changes into a giraffe. That means Lamarck was said that these character will be transmitted to next generation. That means same as like these characters only. So from here deer to it changes as giraffe. That means it's totally elongated its neck and its legs also. So now presently we are calling it as giraffe. So as same, but this is not occurred in all deers, but it occurs in some deers only. At first I said you that where the DNA becomes errors, then it generates next generation also, but it gets some defects. If it gets some defects, same as like that only, same that structure only, it generated to next generation. Like that only here is happened. See friends again. So here totally the giraffe changes. Now we are seeing giraffe, right? Isn't it? Yes. Now we are seeing giraffe also. The reason for giraffe like this is from deer only, but there is no convenient grass to them. That's purpose they change it to eat. They like to eat branches, leaf. Okay. And another example, if you take in past the snakes with legs only. Okay. Can we see now presently the snakes with legs? No, we cannot see, because the snakes did not have the legs. That means they changed for their convenience. They removed their legs to move easily in burrow, okay, easily in hole. Like that, the Lamarck was said that they changed there for convenient purpose. Friends, if you observe next slide, friends, what you are seeing here? Right, dear friends, we are seeing here one zebra. That means it's a zebra also related to giraffe family and deer. Have you find any similarities between these? Yes, they have same structure, but it is big. That means it elongated, and also the legs also elongated. This is the deer, this is the zebra. Which changes zebra? Which changes? That means which evolved from deer. Okay, friends. Next, Darwinism. Darwin, he is a scientist. He worked under the birds' beak. He worked under the beaks of the birds. So Darwin want to know why the birds have different structures of beak. Okay, for that purpose he done so many research. At the age of 22 only. So, he taken a lot of time, minimum 10-20 years he taken for the knowing of the reason why the beaks have different structures. Okay. So, he observed that he went a forest and he observed that many types of birds and their habitat. Okay. How they are habitating. That means what types of food they are taking. Okay friends, we also daily taking food, right? Okay. Friends, here the birds which are taking different types of, he observed that all birds are not taking same food, they are taking different food. Suppose comparing to us, so we are the people from India, what we take? Generally we take rice. Comparing to foreign country, that means other countries, they take another type of food. They did not know how to cook rice. They did not know how to eat. Some people are know, that's why they are going to eat rice. So, like this, if you compare foreign country to this country, there is a difference between food habitat. Like that, birds also there is a difference. So, some birds eat meat only, some birds eat fruits, some birds eat leaf, like this. So, friends, if you observe the beak of woodpecker, how it is? It's a very sharp, isn't it? Why it is sharp? For that convenient, it's a natural occurred. That means the woodpecker always it hits the stem of the plant for sucking the juice from the plant, like that only. So, that's purpose the woodpecker have a sharp beak comparing to next birds. If you see, friends, you just observe this slide. Friends, look here. Here we are seeing some structures of beaks of a bird. Have you find any difference? Yes, there is the difference. You observe this slide, friends. So, here is the friends. Here we are seeing that different types of birds' beak. Okay, that means they changed their beaks for their convenient purpose. Okay, so if they wanted to take a easy simple that means fruits, they changes their beak as small. If they wanted to take hard food, they changes their beak like sharp. Okay friends. Okay friends, next this he observed that like this only under the beaks. Next coming into another topic. Shall we go next topic? Okay friends, let me tell we are evoluted from, yes, monkey. Human being was evoluted from monkey. So, let me see how the species evoluted. That means there are some divisions for evolution. So, friends, if you observe this slide, you can understand what are the divisions involved on the evolution process. So, till now we seen that the evolution of organisms and their stages. Okay friends, till now we seen that the stages of evolution. Let me see how the evolution was start. What are the mechanism was involved on them. Okay friends. So, let us observe this slide. Friends, how new species are evolved. So, there is two stages friend. One is microevolution and then another one is macroevolution. So, what is microevolution? That means the small change within the species. Friends, one is microevolution. What is that friend? Speak up. Microevolution. That means microevolution is nothing but a small change was occurred in an organism. That means a small change is occurred, but it was specified. Okay, a small change. Suppose if you take any example of that, if it is small change occurred, that means suppose friends, if you take example of lizard and salamander. If you take example of lizard and salamander, both had similar structure, but they have little bit of difference. Suppose if you take another example, if you take another example of lizard and crocodile. So, crocodile body is a huge, but structure is same, right? So, they have similar difference, okay. That is called microevolution. Next observe friends, what is another stage? So, here given example for microevolution is color of beetles, red and green, it is a small change, okay. Next, macroevolution, the small variations characters having organisms involving sexual reproduction with the same characters, living organisms to give new species due to variations. That means a small defect is there in that, a small change will comes, but it gives a huge animal. That means in sexual reproduction only the characters will live, same characters living organism, it has same characters to give next generation, okay friends. Are we clear? Okay. Next one. Friends, next one is evidences of evolution. So, what are the evidence for that? How they evoluted? That means the evidences of, if you know the evidences of new species, then we can understand how the evolution was continuous. Evolution is a continued process. Okay. Friends, if you observe, friends, just you observe this slide. So, evidence of evolution. Evidence of evolution is also known as physiological evidences. What is that? Physiological evidences. So, there also it divides into two forms. One is homologous organs and another one is analogous organs. So, first we have to know what is homologous organ. Homologous organs are nothing but which are evoluted from their ancestors. That means the homologous organs also called as divergent organisms. So, friends, if you observe this, so homologous organs means they have similar structure, but different in functions. Friends, if you observe this, here is the, dear friends, what is this? Yes, this is the structure of hand of a human being. Next, what is this? Yes, this is the cat. Okay friends, this is the whale, this is the bat. Friends, if you just observe here, here is the different structure, here is the different figures are there, okay, but they have similar structures, but their functions are different. Friends, if you observe your hand, just to observe your hand friends, just to compare these hands to that figures, what you are finding here? So, here we finding this hand, it is similar to that human hand, that we are human beings, so it is similar. So, if you compare your hand with cat hand, just to compare friend, then you can understand it. Is it similar? No. No? Yes, it is similar. Next, if you compare your hand with whale, yeah, well, we are observing here, just to assume that these are the fingers of human beings only, but it has same structure, right? Next, bat, it was so big, but it also same structure. That means they have same structure, but different in functioning. Can human being fly? Can human being fly comparing with bat? No. Can cat fly comparing with bat? No. Can bat swim comparing with whale? Yes, you are right friend, no. That means we can understand here they have similar structure but different in functions, okay, clear? Next, analogous organ. Analogous organs are nothing but they have different structures, okay, but functioning is same. So, we learned that homologous organs are different in functioning, but they have similar structures. Coming into analogous organs, they have different structures, but function is same, okay. So, friends, here homologous organs, analogous organs means analogous organ, that means they have different structures having similar functions. Okay, friends. So, if you observe here, friends, here is the some types of wings are there. This is the wing of insect, bird and bat. So, these have different structure, right friends? Okay, got it? They have different functions, but they do similar, friends. Suppose here is the insect, here is the bird. So, they have different structures, but they always fly, right? So, bird also fly, insect also fly. Coming into next, here is the bat. It has different structure comparing with these. It has feathers. Look friends, are you? Okay. So, it has no feathers. That means it has different structures, but same in functioning. Next, embryological evidence. Embryological evidence is nothing but, friends, its development starts from egg to adults. The development starts from, it changes from a small egg to adult. Okay, friends. So, egg to adult, that means if friends you just observe when the if you observe just the egg of a hen or any egg, okay, you just observe that. So, it is in the structure of egg. After few days, that means after heat, it changes into a baby. That means it changes into a chick, it gives a chick. Like that, from egg to, it changes from egg to, here is not the adult, from egg to it changes a structure, it having a functioning body, it has a structure, that means a baby. Okay. Friends, if you observe this slide, we can understand it. Embryology is a study of the development of an organism from egg to adult stage. So, friends, here is the 3 stages are there. Okay. Got it? So, first stage, what you are finding here? Yes, they have the similar structures. We can't find any difference in these between, we can't find any difference between these figures, right? This is the in embryological stage, first development embryological stage. So, friends, next coming into next stage, dear friends, what you are seeing here? Yes, we find some little bit of different in second stage. That means here is the embryology development is happening. So, in first these two are same. Okay. Next, these two are same. Like this whole, that means here happens some difference. Here they divided into a pair. Okay, friends. So, coming into third stage, friends. So, let me tell. Can you tell me this? Okay, what you are observing here? Yes, different types of, they changes their stages. That means you can understand here these two are evaluated from only one family. These two are evaluated from one family. As human being also evaluated from one family only. Okay. Evidence for fossils. Friends, evidence for fossil also is the one of the evolution. So, friends, in past animals we are finding presently. That means by the help of fossils only. We can find the age of fossils. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Swera.
Good afternoon, Swero. What's your name?
This is Sushmita Swero from Nadigudam, Sirapet district.
Okay, Swero.
I want to ask one doubt, Swero.
Okay, Swero.
The Lamarck said about evolution, is Swero?
Yes.
Other strains cannot support the Lamarckism. Why?
So, friends, Lamarck has said that for their convenience this was evoluting, right? Friends, here is that the evolution, the other scientists also supported to Lamarckism, but there is no any proofs for that. So, he just showed that for their convenience there, it is a natural selection. Darwin said natural selection. Lamarck also showed he showed that experiment, that means he showed that hypothesis on giraffe. That means he just showed that there is only natural selection. He did not given any clarity about that. Okay, friends? Good questions, friend. Good question. Next, Friends, if you this slide, fossil. Fossil also one of the method which includes in evolution also, friends. So we can find by the help of the fossil we can find that past animals. Friends, if you observe this slide, first slide, what is this? Yes, that is a dinosaur. I think you have seen this. Okay, friends, this is the dinosaur. In the dinosaur period there is no human beings, but how can we find that? Tell me. Yes, how can we find that? That means we find that by the help of fossils only. There are the two methods, one is direct and another one is relative method and another one is carbon dating method. For these two methods we can find the fossils of age and the structure of animal also. So here we are seeing these pictures, friends, dinosaur and another fossils are there. Okay, friends, these fossils are found under the earth. We can find by this fossil age of the organism. Friends, hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Sphero.
Good afternoon, sir. I am K. Rajendra, sir, from
Okay.
Nirmal district.
Okay, Sphero, what's your doubt?
Please, sir, can I explain about the DNA and full form of DNA, please?
Sure, why not, Sphero? Sphero, DNA. Okay. Nice start. Good question, Sphero. So, friends, you just observe here. Friends, this is the structure of DNA. You just observe this. Okay, Sphero, this is the structure of DNA. DNA has double helix structure. That means you are clearly you just observe here. So DNA has double helix structure like this. Okay, friends. So DNA, the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. That means here the DNA has double helix structure. It has two nucleotides. These are the two nucleotides which presentation of nitrogen base. Okay, friends. Here and also in between these helix structure there have bondings. These are the bondings, nitrogen bondings only. When the nitrogen percent was heavy in this alternative system, there have the bondings. Okay, friends. Next, friends, just observe this slide. Friends, Archaeopteryx is a linking between reptiles and birds, right? So here in first fossil, this is the fossil only. In first fossil, we are finding that this look like as a bird. Coming into next fossil, there is the reptile. So we concluded that the Archaeopteryx is evoluted from reptile. Okay, friends, look who they are. They are we only. Okay, from a small stage to we evoluted a big stage. That means from after 1400 millions years, the human being is like this as a monkey. After that he evoluted like this. Okay, so this is the modern human being. This is also one type of evolution. So why we became like this? That means we can clear that here is the happen some DNA errors. The errors happen, that means the defect happen in DNA. For that purpose we evoluted from here to here. Hello? Hello? Okay, friends, you see this. From here to here we evoluted like this. Okay, friends. So like this. Friends, from this I will conclude that so we should know about evolution. That means the species are going to endangered species. We are not seeing species. So I just lastly I want to say that so we have one Diksha, that is Beam Diksha. If you continue that Diksha, we can save our species. And also another one is the importance of evolution is if we know the evolution, we can easily develop next generation. Our secretary sir said that. So maybe I think not. So, our secretary sir said that the human beings not homo sapiens in future, they are be a sphaerosiphian in future, right? Like that, for developing our stages, for knowing ourselves. That means this is very important, friend, to know how the earth, life was formed on the earth, right? So, friends, thank you for giving this opportunity. I thanks to my teachers who boosted me very much, and I thank to each and everyone, and I thanks my parents also. So, I give a very big grand thanks to dear secretary sir. Thank you for giving a golden opportunity.